Hey guys, it's the first day of the makeup challenge, and I'm still on my diet. It's Friday morning, it is 10:25, I'm just sitting down to my breakfast. 200 grams of cantaloupe, taking a little page out of Miss Julie Janae's playbook on that one. I bought a cantaloupe the other day, ate a little bit of it, and then I didn't want the rest of it to go bad, so I just cut all of it up and put it in the fridge, and then took a little bit here. I'm not a big fruit and vegetables eater at all, so I'm trying really hard to introduce more fruits and vegetables, and it's especially tough with the couponing because, as you know, it's hard to get fresh produce when you're a couponer. So I try to look for sales and everything, but still you're kind of out of pocket for that, so you're going to have to make yourself buy that stuff. So anyway, I've been making an effort to do that. So I'm going to eat this. I got up a little bit earlier today than usual, so that's good. I'm happy about that. Madison is getting more and more impatient in the morning. So she's like starting to get really bossy about me getting up in the morning. It's especially stressful when Brian is home and it's his day off and it's his day to sleep in, because then I have this additional pressure not to let the girls wake him up. And so this morning trying to put on my makeup was not as great of an experience as it was the other day. And even though I kind of did the same routine, I don't feel as good as I did, but I still feel better than I would if I had none on, so it's still a plus. I think for the rest of the week I'm going to do a little bit of like a mom makeup and not like a full face makeup like I have on right now, because it took me like 30 minutes or something to put this makeup on, which is ridiculous. I need to be like 5 or 10 minutes. What else? That's it. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to turn on my computer, check my email, check my YouTube, stuff like that. And then I've got a whole big mess to clean up because hubby's been on Mr. Mom duty for the last 2 days. And I guess in his dictionary that doesn't include cleaning. So, yeah. Got lots of housework to do. And so that's it for now. I also wanted to tell you that, well, I don't even know if you can see it now, but I added a few red grapes in there because I got red seedless grapes for 99 cents a pound the other day at Albertsons, so that was awesome. So I got like 3 big bags. I planned on freezing some, but now I don't even know if that's going to be enough because my husband eats grapes a lot and the kids like them too, so it's hard to find a fruit that they like. So I cut those up for them and they like those. So I might be getting more. So anyway, I added some of those to my cantaloupe. Also, what else was I going to tell you? I'm feeling so good about what I did yesterday, you guys. I mean, you don't even know how big of a deal that was for me to run at a 6.0 for a minute 5 times within a half an hour. Those intervals that I did. Like, that is... It's hard for me to explain, like, I have not run in years. I have not tried to jog in years. Running, I've been everting and just been scared. Never ever been a runner, even when I was in the military. What'd you find? A little hat? Let me see. You wear it. I think your head's too big. Where's Josie doll? I know. Or Jessie doll. Go find her. Such a big deal, and it was actually like, wow, I can kind of do this. If I could start here, then I can get better and better and better. But I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that later, about my heart rate and stuff. Another thing I was going to say is that I must be feeling a little bit better about myself lately because I had a dream last night that a couple guys from high school wanted to get with me. So I thought that was pretty funny. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm fixing to eat my lunch. That is a turkey burger on a sandwich thin with 3/4 of a cup of 2% shredded cheddar cheese and a bunch of sauteed onions and 1 serving of salt and vinegar potato chips. I'll let you know the calorie count when I'm done. Hey, so it is 2:13 and I am exhausted. I cleaned for about, God, I don't even know. I cleaned for probably about 3 hours, and I took a little teeny tiny lunch break. And my kitchen's still not clean, but I'm so tired. I don't know if it's the exercise yesterday that I'm not used to that took a toll on me, or I started my cycle this morning, so that's probably part of it too, because I have cramps and I'm just not feeling good. And so that might be why I'm so tired also. But while I'm on the subject, I haven't been very good this week, so I'm not surprised that I haven't been losing weight. But, with the whole premenstrual syndrome, that you can be bloated even for a few days into your cycle. So hopefully that's happening, and hopefully after a few days of being good and a few days after today, hopefully I'll lose some weight. Good thing is that I was only 176 this morning, so that's 0.4 down from where I was on Saturday. So that's a week. And yeah, that's only half a pound, but given that I've had 2 cheat days, PMS, and another few days of just really not being very good and not sticking to my calories anyway, not totally cheating, but not being on my calories, 0.4 pounds isn't that bad to me, so I'm actually pretty happy with that. And tomorrow will be like a week, but whatever. So, thumbs up for 0.4 pounds. The other thing that I wanted to say that I was talking to you guys about earlier, well, that I started to talk to you about, was I was doing some research last night after the exercise that I did, because I've had a desire to be a runner, to be one of those people, for a long time. But I'm not saying that's what I'm going to be or that's what I'm going to do, but this is the precipice, maybe. Definitely Miss Julie Janae's gotten me thinking about it, at least, because she's been going on 5Ks at 5 a.m. and outside, and she's like such an inspiration. If you're watching this, Julie, yes, you are an inspiration. But anyway, I was just doing a little bit of research, and I was reading about target heart rate and everything like that. And I really, just a little background on my exercise history real quick. My whole life, I never played sports. I never did anything. I was always a little bit overweight from the time I was like a preteen until whenever, I hated gym class. I always hated outdoor activities. I was never, ever, ever, ever athletic. I was active when I was a child, but I was like kind of a tomboy or whatever. I wouldn't even say that I really had run at all before I went to basic training when I was 20 for the Air Force. And when you're in basic training for, I can't even remember if it was 6 weeks. Yeah, it was 6 weeks then. But yeah, you do a lot of running. And that was really the biggest time in my life when I was the most fit. Obviously, I think a lot of people would say that, if they weren't a very athletic person anyway and they went to boot camp, that would be pretty hardcore. Now, the Air Force, by nature, is not as hardcore as some of the other branches, but I'm getting off the subject. I ran a lot. Then I went to training, and they expect you to still keep up with the same standards, but our tech school, I was a mental health tech, and our tech school is not that strict as far as physical fitness standards. And in those days in the Air Force, about 10 years ago, they were not all that into fitness necessarily. All you had to do was make your weight once a year, and you had to do some bike test where they measured like the oxygenation in your blood or something like that. But then when I was in for about 3 years, they started implementing some other changes where you had to run 2 miles or 1.5 miles, and you had to do so many sit-ups and push-ups, just like you had to do in basic training. Then they were also measuring your waist circumference, in regards to your height and weight and sex and all this, whatever. And it all was on a point system. And then if you failed, you were getting in trouble, and you were getting, Article 15s, and people were getting kicked out. And I was just in constant trouble for the next 3 years because, like I was telling you earlier, I had issues and I didn't want to get in shape. But anyway, so that was about it. And then I got really, really heavy when I got out of the Air Force. I got pregnant with my daughter right around the time that I was getting out anyway, that my enlistment was over at about 6 years. So I was about 180 when I got pregnant with my first daughter, and then I just kept gaining weight. I think when I gave birth to her, I was probably about 230. And then when she was about 9 months old or something, I was 220. And that was when I started my first weight loss journey. And I still had not exercised or anything. I started that, I think, in August of 2007. And then it took me a year. I lost 80 pounds just through diet. I started doing yoga when I was about halfway through. When I was probably about 180, I started doing yoga. And but I just kind of did that for fun, only for about 20 minutes a day, every few days. So it was not any kind of exercise, really, very much. And then I was in shape for a little while, and then I found out like the week after I reached my goal weight that I was pregnant with our second daughter. So then obviously I had to change, and I had to start gaining weight again. And then when I gave birth to my second daughter, I think it was about 170. And then ever since I've had her, I've just been in bad shape. I never lost the baby weight, and I actually gained. At my highest, I was 185 or more. When I started this journey here, I was 185.4. So, last year, at around Christmas time, I decided that I was going to get in shape. And I started exercising a lot. And I mean, it was like the most exercise I'd gotten since I was doing PT in the Air Force. Which was mandatory. I was in such bad shape, they made it mandatory for me, which normally it wasn't mandatory. Hold on, I'll be right out. But, I started doing Taebo. I was doing the elliptical. That's why I got my elliptical. I got that as a push present after I had my daughter. But I used that a little bit at home, but mostly I was going to the base gym, and I was doing the elliptical there, and I was doing other sorts of like calisthenics stuff, like workouts on Fit TV, and I was doing yoga. I was working out like 5 times a week, and I was trying to diet too. And then I think I got down to maybe 165, and then that was about what I was when we moved here to Florida last April. And so about a year ago, I was about 10 pounds lighter than I am now. But in that year that we lived here, or since we've lived here, less than a year, I'd gained 20 pounds. So I was only on the exercise plan that I was on from about the end of January until about the end of March, or maybe the middle of March. So it was a couple months, and I was seeing some results in my physical fitness level, but I wasn't really seeing any differences in my body. But anyway, I gotta run now because my kids are going nuts and it's my husband's day off. But I just wanted to say real quick that I hadn't realized how out of shape I really was until yesterday, because I have done a few classes at the Y since I joined in November. But in those little bursts of run that I was doing yesterday, my heart rate was getting up to 190, which is my maximum heart rate for my age. So that's good and that's bad. That's good that I was pushing myself that hard and I was really taking it to the limit, but it's bad because I shouldn't be going at 100% of my maximum heart rate. So I've got to keep an eye on that, and I've got to try to do maybe a little bit of a slower jog next time, which I don't know how to run. I've forgotten the very small amount of time in my life that I actually had to run. It was just kind of a fluke to me, you know, so I've really got to learn how to jog. I've got to learn how to run. I've got to learn my levels and like where I'm at, so I'm definitely going to try that again sometime soon. I just got off the phone with CVS Corporate for about 20 minutes because I had a nice time at CVS regarding coupons and sale prices and extra care cards, scanning, and yeah, lots of fun. So I'm stress eating. It's 4 o'clock. I'm only having one. And that's really close to my face. I'm sorry. Hey guys, so it's 9:30. I just got the girls to bed, which is 2 hours later than usual because we were lucky enough to be able to go out on a parents' night out tonight because our YMCA was hosting it or whatever, and so we only had to pay $8 for each girl. And it was from 6 to 10, but we actually got them at 9 instead because they're so young. But anyway, so the husband and I had a little date night, and we went to the driving range, and we drove a few balls, and then we went and played miniature golf, and then we went to a pool hall and played a game of darts, and then a game of pool. So we had a very eventful couple hours, so we had a lot of fun, so that was good. Calories. I did not track my calories today. I did add it all up in my head with Brian while we were out, and I think I'm just over 1,400, which if I had not had that Snickers egg, I would have been on my calories. So poo-poo. Whatever. For dinner I had a piece of zucchini lasagna and a piece of light garlic bread, and then I haven't had anything to eat since 5:30 when we eat dinner, so I know I'm going to want something to eat later, but I'm not going to eat anything else. And I am going to relax because I am tired and my body is tired from yesterday. I really felt it in the fronts of my shins today, the little bit of running that I was doing yesterday. So I'm going to relax. Tomorrow we're probably going to have Easter dinner early because my husband has to work a swing shift on Easter Sunday. So that's about it. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching.